Welcome to the channel. I'm Tony the Technician, and today we're going to be going into some of the tools that I picked up recently for work. Some of these are going to be automotive related, some of them are going to be my job specific. So I'll try and have some of them linked down in the description, but if you guys want to see a full in-depth review on any of these items, please let me know down in the comments. But other than that, let's go ahead and dig into the work truck and see what I picked up. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to drop a comment down below. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to smash that thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we got. So first up is actually going to be the Klein tools Modbox. I have a couple different ones and a couple different accessories, so I'll just quickly show you guys those. If you guys want, I can do a full in-depth review of them, but I'm not really going to go over the quality or anything like that. We're just going to look at what I have and kind of move on. So first up is the Klein Tools Modbox 2-drawer system. You can get this in a single drawer, a double drawer like this, and a triple drawer. It took me a little while to purchase this one. I was just using a standard, tote before. Because this kind of holds miscellaneous stuff, but I held off for a while because it was like $150 or $160, and sometimes when I look at these Modbox items, I think a lot of them are overpriced. I get how versatile and handy they are, and I do not regret my purchase whatsoever, but some of the stuff is just pretty expensive for what it is. So it's got this locking arm on the front, then I have these side rails that you can buy attachments and stuff for, and it's on both sides. So you press this button, you push this arm over, and you can lock this if you want. Then you simply drop that down, and that allows the drawers to open. And this is kind of a pull handle. It does have the locking latch on the bottom, so you can stack them. And then in the first drawer, one of the first items I picked up recently, because before I had just a cheap little Craftsman setup, and honestly I couldn't stand the ratchets in it, and it had more than what I needed for the work that I do, so I went with the Tekton 1/4-inch drive set. That's all I really need for removing taillights, trim panels, wheel well liners, things like that. The thing I like about the Tekton set is the coverage, and I 95% of the time just use metric. I did pick up the metric and SAE set just in case, but 95% of the time it's just metric, and I like that it goes all the way from 4, it includes those half sizes, and goes up to 15 millimeters, so a lot of good coverage there. You get the USA made tri-lobe handle now in the newer updated sets. You get your 90-tooth quick release ratchet. I prefer the non-quick release, but it is what it is. I like the Tekton ratchets and their 90-tooth design. You get a couple of extensions, universal joint, and a bit adapter. It doesn't include all the miscellaneous unnecessary stuff that you get in a lot of socket sets, and then you got a little bit of extra storage over here if you want to throw your most common bits or whatever you really want in this little compartment. So I'm really happy with this. I've been using Tekton for years, have a lot of their tools, and just decided to pick this setup for work. Over here I do have some new pads. I use polishing pads quite a bit, and I use the Milwaukee polisher, and for the longest time I was using the Milwaukee pads for the 3-inch polisher, and honestly they're expensive for what they are. They're good pads, they last a long time, but they're just a little expensive for what you get. I don't use all of that. I basically use the one main pad similar to this, and that was really it, and I was paying $35-$40 for that pad almost. So originally I picked up an Amazon special of those polishing pads and stuff. It comes with like different styles as well as different pads for different purposes, polishing or finishing or anything like that. And I'm not going to say they're horrible, but they're not great. As you can see, this pad got some use. I've cleaned it, obviously, but the backing just does not last, and this will start to fall apart pretty quickly. So now I have a bag of just miscellaneous various different pads that I'll never use. So I decided to pick up a new brand, try them out before going like real expensive with it. And so I tried the SPTA set, and it's a huge improvement. So you got a couple of little microfiber polishing pads, and then you get a variety of different pads. This is the set that I got, and it is a huge improvement over these, and I still want to say this entire set was $30 or $35. Once again, you get your different pads. You got your heavy cut, medium cut, light cut polish, and finishing polish, and then you got a backing plate for a drill as well. But they've held up well. It hasn't torn apart or anything like that. The backing material hasn't came off, and they fit the polishing pad really well. Then you have this lip overhang that actually protects the edge of the backing plate, so you don't accidentally push the backing plate into whatever you're working on. And then you get a little cleaning brush as well. And then a buddy of mine that does body work, body and paint, gave me this set, which is amazing. I think it's like $150 set, but you get a bunch of different sandpapers, fine grit sandpapers, and different applicators, or backings for the sandpaper, and minor paint correction, defect removal. This is absolutely amazing. This has probably got enough sandpaper to last me a lifetime in what I do. It's very rare that I use this, but when I do, it's nice to have. So that was a great little gift, and all my miscellaneous stuff fits in here nicely. And then I'll lock it up. And then on the side over here, I have the accessory panel that just clicks on. And then I picked this set up. I was debating between this and another one they had, and I should have probably picked the other one up. I ended up picking this one up because it had the bits that I most commonly use, but I was like, oh, the sockets will be nice to have, but they're all SAE, which I knew. These sockets are basically worthless to me, at least for the work that I do, but it's got a great bit assortment. And then the Klein driver is the extendable one, so you can extend this out. It's a nice little driver. I really like it. And then I like the kit that it comes in. It's easy to work with, so you just hang this over the top and then lock it in. And then next up we have the Klein Tools Modbox big container, and then the divider, the bigger divider. They do have deeper ones, they also have half ones, but this is the one that I went with. I also have the little organizer on the side, which I use for pens, markers, miscellaneous tools, trim tools, things like that. But this just has a bunch of different dividers in it, a bunch of glue tabs, hooks, things like that. But this is what I recently picked up. These attach to my slide hammer, and this allows me to pull panel edges, like doors. When they get the edges pushed in from opening them into things, I can hook onto the edge of the door and then pull that back out instead of just hitting it with a tool or an edge tool. This can really be handy. This is going to be really handy because this can go up inside fenders where the lip is, where a lot of tools can't access, and I can get it up in there, hook down, get right up against the edge and pull it out. So door edges and fender edges for these two tools that are used with the slide hammer. Before we get in there, I want to go over a couple of other tools I picked up. So I have a review on the Sonota pliers, slip joint pliers, but this, my buddy that does body and paint also picked this up for me because he has the Matco truck come by, and he picked one up and thought it was cool, and so he picked me one up. And this is just the folding pocket removal tool. So you just simply, just like any other tool, you get behind your standard pop pins and you can pry them out. And it's just nice because it's pocket size, and honestly, me and him use trim tools like this all the time. So I have these trim tool pliers, which are absolutely amazing. Love these for hood liners and stuff. Fantastic. This is not great for all of them, but it is a really nice tool. It works well. And then I actually found this Matco one in the trunk of a car a couple months ago. So this is a new tool to me. So I've used this a couple times, and it's a good tool as well. Nothing different from any of the other ones with the same design. I have a lot of gear wrench ones with this same type of design. So moving into the big box, you just have a big storage area and then a smaller one as well. So I picked this up from Amazon, and this is a fender tool. You can set this on the tire, and I can use my tools on top of it to gain leverage, get myself closer to the damage. So it's kind of just a leverage tool, so I don't have to pry off of my hand. Then there's a tool that we use, fairly newer, that's become popular, and that's cold glue. The actual PDR brand ones, which are really nice, but they run probably $300 or more. I didn't want to spend that just to try cold glue out, so I bought this from Amazon. I want to say it was like 40 bucks or something like that. And I figure if I like it, then I can buy a better set. So I actually ended up liking it. It's got your cold glue in here. It gives you extra like parchment paper, so when you tear some off, you have somewhere to put it. So I've used it probably a handful of times, and the first time was a learning experience, but figured it out, and it works really well. Just depends on the type of damage that you're working with, but you get 4 different backing plates, and then you can attach it to the slide hammer with these that just screw into the back of the backing plate. And honestly, it's great for soft damage, things without hard creases or hard corners. It's a great little set for the price, and I figure if I ever have an issue with this cold glue, then I can just buy the more expensive, better quality cold glue. But that is another product I picked up. So this is a hatch jammer, and I use this whenever I'm working on a hood or a trunk and I need it to stay where I want. This end goes and locks around the ring at the base, and then this goes into the latch mechanism and holds the trunk or hood exactly where I need it to. This locks down the hook, and then this allows you to extend and turn this so you can get the height adjusted to whatever you want. But they're pretty affordable. I want to say they're like 20 or 25 bucks, and then you can get these off Amazon as well. So overall, I'm really happy with the Modbox items that I've purchased. They work really well, and they fit in here nice and snug. So then next up, I had to pick up some more polish. This is 3D Speed, which I've used in the past, but I prefer 3D1, and I thought I ordered 3D1, but I accidentally ordered 3D Speed. I just feel like for what I do whenever I need it, 3D1 is just a great product. I think 3D Speed is really good as well. I just think this works a little bit faster. These are kind of like a all-in-one, true one-step correction glaze, high gloss finish, and then this is cutting, compound, and finishing polish, so it's kind of an all-in-one. So I have still got some in here. It's probably right about here, and I've had this for going on 3 or 4 years, so that's how much I need this. Not very often, but when I do need it, I want to make sure that if I ever use my wet sanding equipment, that I can repair that and bring it back to a glossy finish. So I picked up some more of that. And then last one up is this. I've had this for about 4 years, and it was time for an upgrade. This is a door jammer. This, just kind of like your hatch jammer, is made for doors. So this end will go around the hook inside the door jamb, and then you slide this over and lock it down, and then this end goes into the latch mechanism in your door, and it holds your door open so you can work on it without having to hold the door with your body. But this is the cheap one. It probably runs $20-$25, and I just made do with this one for many years just because I didn't want to drop the $50 for the nicer one, but I ended up doing it eventually. And this is the aluminum one, which, as you can tell, is a huge upgrade. This one has a hook on both sides, and then this one has foam on this end. This is the part that goes into the door, and then this goes into the latch mechanism, and then you just spin this wheel and tighten it up, and then this one goes around the loop in the door jamb of the car, and then you can tighten it up. But it was pretty spendy, you know, $50-$55, something like that, and I think there's some more out there that are even more expensive than that, but this was a huge upgrade for me. I love that this one I can pull all the slack out of the door, where this one, when I used it, you could get a lot of the slop out of the door, but the door would still move back and forth a little bit, but it was just nice that it held the door in place. But this, you can get like all the slack out of the door and the door will not move. So this was definitely a nice upgrade. So that's it as far as some of the new tools that I picked up for work. I know a lot of them aren't automotive specifically related, but still a few items. Door panel tools or trim tools, the socket set, automotive things that you could, you know, possibly use. I definitely think all of the items that I went over today are definitely quality enough products to be used in the professional field. And then some of them, like I stated, are my job specific. We got like some detailing stuff and then some very specific stuff for my work. So let me know your guys' thoughts. I really hope you guys enjoyed and got a lot of good information from this video, or just hopefully enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to smash that thumbs up. Once again, I'll try and have some of the products linked down in the description for you guys. And if you guys haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.